So the Koch brothers had a really odd week where they both helped Bernie Sanders and pissed off Donald Trump. So first with Donald Trump, I believe they were criticizing him for whatever lack of civility, saying he hurts the Republican brand or Republican Party. Whatever they are, they're part of the Republican Party that is the establishment. And Donald Trump's in the establishment too, don't get me wrong, but Donald Trump's the more politically incorrect side of the Republican Party. The Koch brothers are the ones that want to be more politically correct. They're the rich Republicans, you know what I mean? So, Donald Trump released this tweet where he said, "The globalist Koch brothers, who have become a total joke in Republican circles, are against strong borders and powerful trade. I never sought their support because I don't need their money or bad ideas. They love my tax and regulation cuts, and judicial picks, and more. I made them richer. Their network is highly overrated. I have beaten them in every turn. They want to protect their companies outside the U.S. from being taxed. I'm for America first and the American worker. A puppet to no one. Two nice guys with bad ideas. Make America great again." I'll get to that tweet, but first I want to show you what happened with Bernie Sanders. So pretty much with Bernie Sanders, the Koch brothers funded a study. One of their organizations that are funded by the Koch brothers, they funded a study where they pretty much found that Medicare for All will cost $32 trillion. Now, I think I've seen that number like a long time ago, and it's pretty much the same story now. Medicare for All is going to cost $32 trillion in 10 years. That's the healthcare cost this country will spend if we had Medicare for All right now. So that's actually less than what we're going to spend. $32 trillion sounds like a lot, and a lot of the Republicans are trying to push it as a lot. But that's over the next 10 years. And what we're going to spend over the next 10 years right now in our current state is around $34 trillion. So Medicare for All will save $2 trillion. So here's what Bernie Sanders said to the Koch brothers in this video.
Let me thank the Koch brothers, of all people, for sponsoring a study that shows that Medicare for All would save the American people $2 trillion over a 10-year period. I suspect that that is not what the Koch brothers intended to do, but that is what is in the study of the Mercatus Center, an organization that is significantly funded by the Koch brothers.
So there you go. In Bernie Sanders' case, the Koch brothers funded a study where they intended to claim that Medicare for All is too expensive, too much money, we can't afford it. But then they accidentally had to put in the fact that, yeah, Medicare for All will save $2 trillion because what we're spending now is going to be $2 more trillion, $34 trillion. I've actually seen numbers that say it's higher than that, but I guess the official numbers right now is current healthcare costs for this country is going to be $34 trillion. Medicare for All is going to save $2 trillion. And it doesn't sound like much when you keep looking at these huge numbers where it's like 32 trillion, 34 trillion, just 2 trillion. 2 trillion's a lot. 2 trillion is a lot to save. We could invest that in so much different things. We could invest that in fixing our infrastructure. We could save the money if we wanted to. You see, that's called fiscal responsibility, guys. But fiscal responsibility, that's something that clearly the right wing doesn't possess because they don't care. They don't care. The numbers are right in front of them. They funded the study that showed the numbers that show that Medicare for All will cost $2 trillion less. You're going to save $2 trillion with Medicare for All, and you're going to get everybody in this country covered with healthcare. But still, these Republicans that claim they're fiscally responsible, they don't care. We can invest $1 trillion or $2 trillion into something else that benefits this country, but the Republicans, they ignore it. They ignore it. They don't think it's real. They don't want to believe it. They just don't want to believe it. They don't care. They don't care. So back to Trump. So what I find so hypocritical about the Trump tweet, let's go back to it. One of the things he wrote in the second tweet was, I have beaten them at every turn. They want to protect their companies outside the U.S. from being taxed. I'm for America first and the American worker, a puppet to no one. So first of all, you're a puppet. You're a puppet. You put establishment people in your cabinet. You put neocons in your cabinet. You went on the campaign against the establishment, against the neocons. You said the wars in Iraq were bad. But then, when you're president, you put the same neocons and establishment figures like Wall Street bankers you were going against. You were saying that Ted Cruz and Hillary Clinton were puppets to Goldman Sachs, but you put Goldman Sachs executives in your cabinet. That's called being a puppet. That's called when you get into power, you're putting the same people you were against in power too. And when it comes to the neocons, their effect is there. Their effect is there. Our bombing's up. We're bombing multiple countries. And maybe I'll talk about this in another video, but I remember Charlie Kirk saying something. Trump brought us relative world peace. We're bombing 8 different countries. One of them is, we have permission to from Nigeria, I think. But we're bombing 8 different countries nevertheless. We're not at peace. We're not finished with the wars in Afghanistan. We're not finished in the wars in Iraq. We're not finished in Syria. The world's not at peace. And under Trump, there's been more bombings. Trump's criticized, I remember reading something that Trump said to a military person that didn't bomb someone in their house. Why didn't you bomb their house when there were women and children there? So this guy's a monster at war. He's a neocon. He's a neocon. And yeah, he's a puppet. He's a puppet. That's fake. And then he says, they want to protect their companies outside the U.S. from being taxed. I'm for America first and the American worker. Now, I actually thought, yes, I think that American companies that produce in other countries, I think they should have. So I think the way Trump's been doing tariffs has been a disaster. It's been wrong. He's been going after allies rather than our biggest adversaries. Excuse me. But the way I view it, I think we should go after American companies who decide to outsource American jobs. So they send in stuff from China, for example, and we tax them when they enter the country. We tariff the American companies. And generally we put some tariffs on China too. I agree with tariffs. I think Trump's been doing tariffs wrong. I believe in protectionist trade policy. So, yeah. And another hypocritical thing. Trump, he builds his ties, he builds his products in China. The Make America Great Again hat, China. The MAGA merch, China. And right now, there's Trump 2020 signs that are saying, keep America great. Which is really dumb slogan. But they're being made in China right now. They're being mass produced. This guy does not care where his stuff is being made. He's just another businessman in that sense. So he's not for America first. He's not for the American worker. If I was president, for example, I would tax Trump like crazy because he's an American businessman, an American-run company who's making products in China to sell it in America. You could have had American workers make that merch, Trump. You know, I got Bernie merch, okay? I got Bernie merch, and every Bernie merch is made in the U.S. It's union made, okay? That's actually believing in your message that you're making stuff in America. Donald Trump's not making stuff in America, man. He's not honest. He's not honest. But, you know, back to the Koch brothers. The Koch brothers, man, they're having a really weird week where they made the Republican president mad, and they made the progressives really happy. So thank you, Koch brothers. Thanks.